Welcome to BODHI Yoga Online. I'm Krista Cahill. We're going to do a 90-minute vinyasa flow this morning, and Chris is going to help me to demonstrate the postures. So go ahead and come in and sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. If you have a lotus or a half lotus, you can do that. Take your hands either on your knees, palms down, palms up, or into your lap. Close your eyes. Simple breathing. Notice how as you inhale into the diaphragm, it drops down, helping your sitting bones to reach for the core of the earth. And when you're exhaling, you're trying to just maintain whatever extension through the spine you were able to accrue. Relaxing any tension around the jaw, the upper shoulders. When you inhale next time, make it a little bit of a bigger, more exaggerated breath in. Open your mouth, let out a again, filling it up, opening up through the side ribs, upper back, chest. Letting it out with a one more time. Breathe in. Up as far as you can. Maybe even taking a little extra breath in at the very top. Letting it all out. And let your eyes open. You're just going to place your hands onto your legs, palms facing down, and you're going to let your ears go from one shoulder to the other. So kind of like a tick-tocking movement in your neck. And then hold your neck on one side and let the opposite arm come across the temple, not pulling hard or forcefully, but just gently encouraging the side of the neck to release away from the shoulder. Breathing. And release that side. Bring your head up and over and take it other side of the stretch. So relaxing the shoulder blade down. Keeping the breath smooth. And releasing your hand down. And now you're going to bring the head up through the center and chin down towards the chest, bringing it parallel to the sternum bone. As you inhale, you're going to look up by bringing your ears back. So not by lifting your chin, but by bringing the ears back towards your shoulders. And then when you're ready, you'll release the head down. You can do that on an exhalation. As you inhale, bring the ears back in line with the shoulders. A couple more times on your own, down and up with your neck. And then the next time you go looking into the up position, you're going to reach your arms all the way out to the side, rotate your palms, lift your hands above your head, stretch from the upper part of your back into your fingertips. Take another big breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to start to reach forward with your body, bring your hands in front, place your palms flat onto the mat, take an inhale, lift, lengthen, and then as you exhale, reach and elongate your body forward, taking a couple breaths. The sitting bones ideally will stay rooted. And away from that root, you stretch forward the crown of the head. And then walk your hands in. Change up the crossing of your legs. And we're going to take the ear again, just from shoulder to shoulder. So rest your hands in a comfortable position. Stretching out the trapezius muscles. And then find a side and just hang out there. Extend the opposite arm, pointing through your index finger. And stretch the arm away from you as much as you can. And then you can angle the arm slightly downwards towards the earth. Stretch a little bit more. And then inhale, let the head come up and over to the other side. Point through your index fingers, stretch the arm away. And then angle the arm slightly down at a diagonal. Stretch through that first finger as much as you can. Getting into the levator scapula, the trapezius. Breathing. And then release your arm, bring your head up, and now you're going to take rolls. So you're going to roll your chin down across the front of your chest in one direction, pause, and then go across in the other direction. Observe how you breathe, so you're not holding your breath, you're keeping the breath moving. And you can stay with this, or you can add releasing the head back and around. So we're taking it a full 360 degrees. And then when you're ready, you go the opposite direction, moving the neck the full 360 degrees. So if you hear any like gravelly crunching sounds, that's just where the synovial fluid has become a little bit crystallized. So it just indicates that the neck is not being moved as much as it needs to be. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring your chin down in line with your sternum bone, just letting your head hang, shoulders relaxed. And now bring your head up, looking up towards the ceiling. Reach your arms out to the side. Turn your palms into external rotation. Reach up. Push the entire spine up through your fingertips. Grow as tall as you can. Maintain the roots of your sitting bones. Start to elongate your body forward. Stretch as far as you can, and then release your hands down. Take another inhale, lift, lengthen. And then as you exhale, stretch all the way out. And eventually you can lower your ears in line with your biceps, pressing the hands and the hips down into the earth. Walk your hands all the way up. You're going to change the cross of your legs. Take your arms out to the sides. And now you're going to reach towards the right arm as much as you can and place your fingertips down on the ground. Take the left arm into external rotation and reach it all the way up over your head. And just breathe. See if you can create the evenness, two sides of the waist, two lungs expanding sideways, two sides of the diaphragm. Look down towards your bottom hand, reach through the left arm, come up as you inhale. Second side, reach out and place your fingertips or palm down. External rotation with the right shoulder, up and over and stretch. See if you can make a little bit more effort in length, and then you can start to turn your belly, your sternum, your chest open. Last 3. 2, and 1. Bring your arms parallel. Open your arms like an airplane. Stretch through the sides of the body as much as you can. Now you're going to internally rotate your arms. Cross your fingers behind your back, interlacing the fingers. Open your chest. Move the arms back. You're going to take an inhale, look up. And then as you exhale, you're going to look down towards your navel and slightly round your spine. As you inhale, arch and look up. As you exhale, round, navel gaze. 2 more times. Inhale, arch, reach the arms back. Exhale, round, navel gaze. Inhale, arch, look up. You're going to hold this position. Lift the arms as high as you can away from your back for 3, 2, and 1. You're going to release your arms. Give your shoulders a moment. You can just roll in both directions, forward and back, the shoulders. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your arms out. Okay, and you're going to make little mini circles. And see if you can keep your elbows straight so the movement is coming from the shoulders. And then make the circles more medium size. Lifting through the crown of the head. And make them as big as you can, keeping your elbows straight, moving the shoulders. And then you're going to pause and go into a mini circle the opposite direction, keeping your elbows as straight as you can. Sitting nice and tall, medium circles. Stretch the fingers as wide as possible, bigger circles. From the shoulders you move. And now stretch the arms straight out to the side, and you're going to reach the arms into internal rotation, cross the unusual way, lacing your fingers together. As you inhale, you're going to arch and look up, and as you exhale, look down, naveling gaze. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, down, Nabi Chakra. 2 more times. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale. And inhale, arch, look up. You're going to hold this a couple extra moments here. Lift the arms if you can away from your hips. And then release. Bring your hands onto your knees. Lift and round your shoulders back and forward a few times. Good. You can go up and down from the sides. And then for a couple moments, just let your elbows hang. Good. When you're ready, uncross your legs. You can massage your knees out a little bit and then bring your feet around behind you. You're going to come into child's pose for a couple breaths. So if you need something between your hips and heels, do that. If you need something underneath your forehead, grab that. We just are going to focus on really simple breathing here in child's pose. The objective is that you take the inhale down into the diaphragm, expanding it into the sides of your lowest rib cage. The weight of the hips releasing towards the heels so the lumbar gets that little bit of stretch. And then when you're ready, you're going to stretch your arms forward. Use your hands to help press your hips back towards your heels. Press the hands in a way that gives you a very strong connection with the knuckle of your thumb, index, middle, ring, all the way across to the pinky. Release the fingers against the yoga mat. Stretch them forward as much as you can. And from the knuckles to the wrist, you're pulling the palm of the hand back towards your armpits. The shoulders are going to lift and come onto the upper back. So you feel the shoulder blades pressing against the surface of your upper back rib cage. Okay, now see how much of this you can keep, and very discreetly curl your toes under, downward facing dog, pressing the hips back the entire time as you lift your legs. Take a few moments if you need. Bend one knee, pedal out the opposite leg towards straight. And just taking it side to side, giving your body a few moments to get accustomed to the shape of the posture. And when you're ready, you're going to bring your hips back a little further, gaze forward, come into plank position. Bring your heels right above your toes, reaching as far as you can through the back of the legs, sacrum towards the wall behind you. And then in the opposite direction with the sides of the spine as far forward as you can. Press with the entire surface of your hands. See if you can draw the front of your chest body up in between the upper back shoulder blades. Last 3. Keeping the elbows as straight as you can, making a straight line of energy from your hands to your shoulders. 2. Now try to keep your arms this straight and go back to downward facing dog. Reaching with the center of your sitting bones straight back behind you. Again, keep the hips moving, drawing back as you come forward into plank position. Separate the lower body going back from the upper body, the sides of the spine going forward. And now you're pushing your body up, so think up, and you're going to slowly bend your elbows, lowering all the way down. Keep the center of the body lifting as you come closer and closer to the earth. Release all the way when you feel ready, point your toes, and you're going to come into baby Bhujangasana, a little baby cobra. Again, the lower body, including the sacrum, releases back with the toes. Use your hands to slightly draw the side spine, side chest forward in the opposite direction. Last breath in. Release down all the way as you exhale. Now you're going to take your toes into the tucked position. You can always use your knees on the ground if it's too much with your legs straight. Think of the sacrum being the first part that lifts, so you're not actually pushing up with your shoulders, you're lifting from the undercarriage of your abdominals to come up to plank and downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg up. You can open up your hips if it feels good. You can stack and bend the knee. If you want to circle out that right ankle, starting to release any congestion, anything that you're waking up with in the ankle joint. And then release that side and switch. Lift open, bend, stretch, and then if you want, you can circle the ankle around in either direction. And release your foot down. Come into plank position with your inhale. Knees up or down, chaturanga on the exhalation. Cobra or upward facing dog as you inhale. Lifting with your sacrum to down dog as you exhale, Adho Mukha. Good. Look forward, stretch the hips even further back, bend the knees, and either march or jump your feet, Ardha Uttanasana. Create length through the spine. Exhale, crown of the head straight down. Open the arms, external rotation as you rise, maybe you look up. Samastitihi Tadasana, arms at your sides. Okay, you can have your eyes open or closed. Okay, take a couple moments, spread out through your toes, now connecting down through your feet into the earth in mountain pose. Here we want as much weight on the inside edge of the heels as the baby toes, the outside edge of the heels as the big toes, and then you're bringing the center of the pelvis forward over the front of your ankle. So this feeling of the pelvis being centered over the foot helps the pelvis to lift on all 4 sides. The spine through the crown of the head growing tall, shoulders relaxed. Last 2. Continuously rotating the upper outer arms into external rotation. Open your eyes, lift your arms, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Open the arms, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha, halfway up. And just for the first one, march back. Once you arrive in plank position, either go to down dog or chaturanga on an exhalation. Cobra or upward dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. And taking a few breaths here, separate your feet, maybe a little bit wider than the hips if you need more space. And think of your entire foot, even if the heel isn't touching the ground, just imagine what it would be like to press down and to lift the back and the sides of the legs up. Last 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, float or step your feet to your hands as you inhale, elongate Ardha. Exhale, descend Uttanasana. Open the arms with external rotation, come all the way up. Samastitihi Tadasana, exhale, arms release. Inhale, reach up as much length as you can. Exhale, crown of the head all the way down to your big toes, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. You can jump or step. Jump only if you're ready, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or urdhva. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So taking a few breaths here, evening out. Inhale and exhale. Notice if you have a tendency to push more into one hand or the other. Try to make it as even as you can. Last 3. All the fingers stretch forwards. 2. Continuously moving the hips back as you exhale, bend the knees deep and inhale, transition, jump or step. Exhale, crown of the head straight down. Open the arms as you inhale, rise, Urdhva, Hasta, Asana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, Urdhva, Hasta, arms reach. Exhale, Uttanasana. Ardha, inhale, shifting the weight. Floating or stepping as you exhale, vinyasa or straight to down dog if you're missing the vinyasa today. And downward facing dog. So you don't always have to do the vinyasas. It's only if you have that excess energy. Some days you need a little less. Last 3. 2. Think of exhaling all the breath out as you bend your knees. Look up and inhale, travel, step or float. Exhale, descend Uttanasana. Inhale all the way, press your feet as you lift. Exhale, Samastitihi. One more time, just with breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. All the breath out in chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take a few moments. Breathe. Look up. Finish the exhalation as your knees bend and inhale, jump. Exhale. Open the arms. Inhale, try to come all the way up from the earth. Exhale, Tadasana Samastiti. Relax your arms down at your sides, external rotation. Breathe. You can have your eyes open or closed. Ground down into your feet. Lift up so the inner outer knees are pulling energy up towards your pelvis, towards the sides of your spine. And then lift the back of your legs so they're upright, vertical. The front of your legs, the tops of your thighs lifting. Crown of the head eventually pushing all the way up off of your first vertebra. And keep all that space. Let your eyes open. External rotation with your arms. Reach your arms up as you inhale. Stay here. And now you're coming into chair pose as you exhale. So think up, up, up as you sit back and down with your pelvis. If you get your thighs parallel to the earth, turn your sitting bones towards your heels. Feel that flying upward sensation at your frontal hip bones. Take another breath in. With your next exhalation, chest on thighs, hands to the ground and fold. Inhale, elongate forward. Jump or step as you exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or urdhva. Exhale, Adho Mukha. You're going to step your right foot to warrior one, turn your left heel at 45. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, down dog or chaturanga. It's your choice. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Down dog, exhale. Left side, step your left foot, turn your right heel. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands down, either down dog, direct, or chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, recovery breathing, down dog. So you're taking your time to breathe slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. End of this exhale, bend the knees deep, jump or step, inhale, floating Ardha. Exhale, Uttanasana. Chair, inhale, Utkatasana. Tadasana, exhale, Samastitihi. External rotation, inhale, Utkatasana, 1 breath. Exhale, Uttanasana. Ardha, inhale. Exhale, down dog or chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, right foot forward, Virabhadrasana, inhale. Exhale, down dog direct, or if you're missing vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, same exhale, the left foot steps, right heel turns. Inhale from the floor up. Exhale, hands down, take your time, and with your breath you lower. Inhale. Down dog, exhale. So try to slow the breathing down, compose yourself energetically. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your last inhale as you stretch. Exhale, all the breath out, bend the knees. Jump it as you inhale, march it if you can't jump. Exhale, fold. Chair, inhale. Tadasana, exhale, Samastitihi. Okay, last time. Utkatasana, chair, inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana. Ardha, inhale. Jump it or step it back, chaturanga or down dog. Inhale, urdhva or cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Same exhale, right foot forward. Virabhadrasana, inhale. Down dog or chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, urdhva or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Same exhale, left foot steps, right heel spin. Inhale. Exhale, down dog or chaturanga with your exhale. Inhale, cobra or urdhva. Exhale, Adho Mukha. So if this is too much, too fast, too quick, whatever, you have to regulate on your own, right? So this practice teaches us to listen and be self-regulating. So instead of down dog, other alternatives would be to come down onto your knees and take child's pose or sit on your heels. 2. As long as you're breathing slow and in a composed way, you will be able to keep your nervous system in a balanced state. 3, 4. Now finish exhaling all the breath out. Bend your knees deep, and as you're ready, jump or step. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Uttanasana. Chair, Utkatasana, inhale. And Tadasana, Samastitihi, exhalation. Take your arms down at your sides, external rotation, eyes open or closed. Ground your feet into the yoga mat. Bringing your pelvis just above that splittable joint at the front of your heel, front of the ankle. See how much you can push down through the full surface of your foot, all four corners, and bring the energy upwards, out through the crown of the head eventually. Good. Bring your fingertips up to your chest, elbows lift parallel to your shoulders, bend your knees, skimming the mat, jump 70 centimeters, feet open towards the sides. Okay. You're going to turn your left toes in at 15 degrees, open your arms parallel. Turn your right leg out at 90 degrees. Now you might need to stand up some blocks in line with your heels. Okay. Draw the right side of your waist in so we have full oblique contraction. And now pull the top part of your right leg back towards your left heel, Trikonasana. And you can bring your fingertips down onto that block. Reach up through the opposite left shoulder blade and arm. And the more we're trying to move the top part of the right leg back to the left heel, the higher you have to lift the left side of your waist towards the ceiling. So we want the waist to be as high as the hip and left rib cage. Last three. Imagine both shoulder blades moving away from your ears as you turn. Maybe you look up, 2. Look down. Inhale, stand up. Turn your feet parallel. Turn the right toes in at 15 degrees. Turn the left leg out at 90. Compact the left side waist in, and then as you exhale, the top of the left thigh towards right heel, fingertips straight down onto the block. Lift through the top arm, shoulder up as much as you can. And when you feel the movement of the upper left thigh back towards right heel, counter that by lifting the bottom side left waist into the top right waist. Evenly pull the 2 shoulder blades away from the back of the neck. Last 3. Yes, like that. Turn the belly, sternum, chest, maybe look up, 2. Inhale, come up to standing. Now you're going to turn your feet to a parallel position. Turn your left toes in at a 45-degree angle. Turn your right toes all the way to face the back of the mat. And now spin your chest to face over your right leg so your arms are out to the side like an airplane. Good. Now externally rotate both arms. Reach up over your head. Use the arms lifting up to give you a little bit more height and lift in the pelvis. Push through the back left heel as much as you can. Take an inhale. Now bring your torso down parallel to the earth. Keep reaching the arms overhead unless it's too much. Take another big breath in. And now you're going to bring your left hand to the outside of your right foot. Use a block or the floor. And now turn and reach your right arm open towards the ceiling. Press back with the left leg as much as you can. Think of the back leg doing upward facing dog. And the hip bones flying up towards your bottom front rib cage. Now see if you can create that same feeling in the shoulder blades. Both shoulder blades release down away from your ears. Turn from underneath that bottom left shoulder. Last breath. You might even look up, see the right thumb. Look down as you exhale, and like a windmill, you're going to inhale, come all the way up, turn your feet around to face the front, arms parallel like an airplane. Externally rotate both shoulders. Inhale, lift your arms up. So use the arms in the vertical position as an extra little upward surge of energy. Connect to the back heel, and as you exhale, try to lower just halfway down to the ground. See if you can get more length forward through the spine, and then without losing that length, bring the right fingertips to the outside of the left foot and rotate your torso open, turn and reach through the left arm. So as much as the back thigh is resisting towards the back of the mat, the hip bones in the front are coming towards the front of the mat underneath those bottom front ribs. If you can, just like you did in the other posture, the shoulder blades away from the ears, turn, 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 the belly, sternum, look up if it's possible. And now on an exhale, look down. You're going to windmill your arms parallel towards the right edge of the mat, feet parallel, bend your knees, jump, samastitihi, top of the mat, Tadasana. Inhale, open your arms, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale all the way down to the earth, Uttanasana. Ardha, inhale, elongate. March it or jump back, a vinyasa, or straight to down dog. Inhale, cobra or urdhva. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Okay, stepping the right foot to warrior one, turning your left heel. Inhale, come all the way up. Okay, we're gonna hold here for 5 breaths. So see if you can connect into that back leg again, just like you did into that reverse triangle pose. Lift the frontal hip bones up, 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 and now push from the upper back muscles through the arms. Reach the fingertips. Maybe at this last inhale, you look up and press your hands. Exhale, both hands down, and you're gonna pause, turning over onto your back toes, and now just simply lift your right arm towards the ceiling. So now we're going into Parivrita or revolved variation. Lift and elongate the top part of the left leg, and continue to drop the top part of the right leg lower towards the ground. Last 3, 2, go a little bigger as you inhale. Exhale, both hands down. You're gonna march back into plank position or down dog or chaturanga. Inhale when you're ready. Exhale. End of the exhale, march the left foot between your hands, right heel, warrior one. Virabhadrasana. And taking 5 breaths here. So feel down through your feet. Stretch with that back leg hip and lift the pelvis up so you're creating a nice hip extension with the right thigh. Maybe for these last couple breaths, you push the upper back muscles a little higher through the arms, fingertips. Last breath, maybe you look up and touch your hands, pressing your palms. Exhale, both hands down. Roll onto your back right toes. Plant your right hand and left arm rotates open. So you're coming into the twist. Okay, bring the shoulder blade, especially the bottom one, down from the back of the neck. As much as you can do that, think of the ears, not by lifting the chin to the forehead, but the ears moving back in line with your right heel. Last 3. Maybe the left hip can continue to drop towards the left heel as the right leg goes up and back. 2. And release, hand down, step, march into plank, down dog or chaturanga. Inhale. And exhale, taking a couple breaths. Pause, breathe. Think of the sacrum moving away from the lumbar and at the same time the back of your hamstrings from your knee to your sitting bone pushing up towards the ceiling. Last 2. Continuously moving the hips away from the shoulders as you exhale, bend your knees fully and jump or step as you inhale, top of the yoga mat, length. Exhale, crown of the head down. Okay, chair pose, sit down, 5 breaths. Utkatasana, 1. If your thighs are parallel, turn the sitting bones towards your heels, 2. 3. 4. The last inhale, you might press your hands together, look up. Uttanasana, directly exhale all the breath out. Inhale, elongate. Transition, down dog or chaturanga, your choice. Cobra or up dog, inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward into Crescent Pose. So you're coming into a balanced position for a couple breaths. Okay, now interlace your fingers and invert your palms towards the ceiling. See if you can get your inner elbows to be straight. Keeping your inner elbows straight, now rotate the outer shoulder blades around towards the center of your chest. Push the upper back muscles away from the lumbar spine. See if you can go up a little bit higher. Take another big breath in. And then release your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers as we did before. Take an inhale. Now bring your torso over the right leg as you exhale. See if you can pause here. Now we're going to do a variation. So the front leg is going to stay as bent as it can. And you're going to try to just lift only the back leg up. Keeping the right knee, if possible, at a 90 degrees angle for 5. Sides of the spine forward, left heel back. 3, 2, And 1. Set your left toes at the back of the mat. Lift your torso, lift your arms, crescent pose. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, both hands down on the ground. Okay, now you're going to bring your back knee down. So if you need a cushion or a towel under your knee, go ahead. We're taking half Hanumanasana, Ardha Hanumanasana. Use blocks under your hands if that's necessary. Bring your hips back, flex your front foot. Okay, the first stage is feeling your pelvis, your spine lift up. And then you're going to go forward with your spine, bringing the crown of the head as far towards the right big toe as possible. Try to stay connected with your breathing. One more breath. And then you're going to bend the front knee back into that lunge shape. Okay, and I'm going to move this cushion just a little bit. You're going to bring your hands onto your front knee and bring your torso into the upright position. So again, work as much as you can from the back leg stretching back to the frontal hip bones lifting up. Now see if you can keep your torso this upright. Bring your back heel up towards your left glute, and with your left hand you can reach for the foot. Okay, once you have the foot with your left hand, if you can bring the heel in and maintain the lift in the frontal hip bones, maybe eventually with the right hand you can reach back and hold the foot with both hands. Stay tight, connected with your breath as much as possible, so you're not losing that feeling of fluidity, even in these static postures. Last 3, 2, 1. Now bring your hands down either side of your front foot. Release your back left toes into the tucked position. Lift the knee up, and now you're going to step to the front of the mat as you inhale. Lengthen out. Exhale, crown of the head straight down. Chair pose. Sit down into your legs, Utkatasana, and stand up into Tadasana as you exhale, Samastitihi. Okay. Now, you're going to come into tree pose. Bring your right toes as high as you can up, okay, and then deposit the heel down, okay, and bring your right knee as far forward as you need to so that the back side of your pelvis is even. The right hip won't be behind the left. Okay, you can keep the hands as they are or take your arms up overhead if you're ready. Use the feeling of the pelvis grounding into that left foot down into the yoga mat. Draw upwards through the sides of your lumbar, sides of your upper spine, maybe even enough so you can bring your ears back. Look up, and maybe at this last inhale, hands touch together, palms press. And as you exhale, release your arms, release your right foot down. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands down directly, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or march. If you're over the vinyasas, you can go to down dog and just wait it out. Inhale and exhale. Now you're going to step with your left foot forward into a lunge position and come all the way up, crescent pose. If you can remember, interlace, cross the unusual fingers on top. Invert the palms with your elbows straight. Okay, as much as you can keep your elbows straight, now open up so the outer shoulder blades come around towards the center sternum. Press your upper back rib cage towards your arms. See if you can lift a little higher. Last 2. Keep all this height in the spine. Release your fingers behind your back as you exhale. Cross your fingers the unusual way. Again, take a big inhale. Lift your pelvis up. Lower your torso down over your front leg as you exhale. Now see if you can keep your left leg bent at a 90 degrees angle and bring your back leg up parallel to the floor. You're going to hold here for 5 breaths, reaching the right heel back. Same time, crown of the head forward for 4, 3. How low can you get your left hip towards the ground? 2, Think of stretching back and setting your toes down into Crescent Pose, lifting your torso, arms up. Big inhale, full stretch. Exhale, both hands down. Okay, so if you need a little cushion, towel, or bolster, bring it underneath your knee. Ardha Hanumanasana, you might need to use a couple props underneath your hands. Pull the hips back, straighten the front leg, the foot is in flexion. Okay, you're gonna inhale, draw the pelvis up out of your hips. And then as you exhale, you're gonna reach forward. So think of keeping your spine as long as you can, really resisting the urge to round your back. Breathe here. And when you're ready, inhale, lift your body up, bend your front knee, coming back into that baby crescent pose again. Okay, so you can work on getting that extended feeling in your back right hip. So as the leg moves back or resists back, the pelvis is still trying to come upright. Okay, now when you're ready, you're gonna bend your back knee, bringing your heel towards your right glute. With your right hand, see if you're able to catch a hold of the top foot. And perhaps you can keep that lifted front pelvis and with both hands reach back. So each and every breath, you're feeling the front body starting at the frontal hip bones lift up, and eventually, not by lifting your chin towards your forehead, but by bringing your ears back, you feel your head coming towards your right foot like a scorpion. Last two. And slowly release, bring your hands down, tuck your back toes under, lift your knee and step to the front of the mat as you inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Reach your arms out and all the way up, get as much lift as you can. Exhale, arms down, Samastitihi. Okay, Vrikshasana, tree pose on the left side. So pick up your left foot, point your toes as high as you can. And the second part is to bring the heel to the inner leg. So make sure that your hips are even towards the front of the mat. The left hip is not behind the right. And then when you're ready, if you have the balance, take the arms vertical. So use the weight of the sitting bones releasing down towards the standing heel. Climb the spine out of the roots of your right foot, the hips releasing down. And then ultimately, if you have the full balance, you can look up and keeping your inner elbows straight, press your hands together. That's your last breath in, growing as tall as you can. And on the exhale, release your arms, keep your spine tall, release your foot, Tadasana, Samastitihi. Okay, chair pose. Inhale as the arms go up, the hips back and down. Uttanasana as you exhale, release. Ardha, inhale. March or jump as you exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva or Cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Okay, now you're going to come back into plank position and lower completely all the way down with control onto the yoga mat. Okay, now come onto your elbows. Press your inner wrist, your inner elbow down onto the yoga mat, and it's not just pressing down, but you're slightly pulling back against the sticky mat. Your objective is to close the bottom front rib cage to the top hips. And now without lifting the chin, like we did before in the quadricep stretch, try to bring your ears back towards your heels. Okay, last three, very good. The front ribs have that little feeling of contracting in away from your t-shirt. 2, 1. Now you're going to hold your abdominals in, curl your toes under, and come up into a forearms plank position here. So if it's too much with your legs straight, bend your knees, put your knees on the ground, and do a little modification is absolutely fine. Open the inner shoulder blades away from the spine as much as you can. Feel the bottom front ribs, hip bones connect. And then at the same time, not by bringing your chin forward, but by lifting your ears up in line with the shoulders, see how much you can engage the upper back spine. Last 3 breaths. Last 2 breaths. Dolphin pose, walk your feet towards your elbows. Lower your ears down in line with your biceps. If you need to bend the knees again, bend the knees, that's okay. The objective is to get the hamstrings to push the sitting bones up and the shoulders to resist from collapsing forward over the wrists. Last 3 breaths here. Picking up the shoulders, bringing them onto the surface of your upper back. 2 more. And child's pose. Completely relax. Point your toes. Arms, shoulders in a comfortable position. Just breathe. Good. Now you're going to prepare dolphin just a little bit differently. So you're going to come onto your elbows and cross your fingers together. And what I want you to observe is that your inner elbow is in line with your inner shoulder. Your outer elbow is in line with your outer shoulder. Okay. The outside of your wrist, the ulnar wrist point, is karate chopping down into the floor. Okay. And now you can curl your toes under. Okay, and walk your knees back a little bit, and now you're going to place the very top of your head, so not your forehead, but the crown of your head down in between your forearms. And the idea is that you would feel your ears, the top of your ear pointing down, so it's vertical, it's not at a diagonal. Okay, and now see if you can keep your inner shoulders lifted onto your back and gently set your head down onto the yoga mat. Okay, and then when you're ready, keeping your head down on the yoga mat, you're going to begin to lift your knees up. You don't have to straighten your legs. You can very, very easily keep the knees bent and do this pose. So try to have your head on the ground if you can. You can't reach. That's why. Last 3. 2. And again, you're going to come down, release your knees, point your toes, and rest your shoulders for a couple breaths. Smooth, even breath. Okay, and we're going to do it one more time. So come up. You're changing the cross of your fingers this time. You're doing your very best when you release your head down to point your ears vertical, so they're going straight down towards the yoga mat. Okay, curl your toes under. Prepare yourself, drawing your shoulder blades up onto your upper back, and then when you're ready, lift your knees up, and you're coming into dolphin position with the head on the ground. There you go. So as much as your inner shoulders are lifting up, you're stretching the center of your spine down and placing a gentle, not a lot, but a gentle amount of weight on the crown of your head. So when the head goes down, just like when the feet go down, the reverberation of energy is that the spine, the hips can lift up. When the elbows go down, it's the same thing. The shoulders can lift up. Last 3. Maybe you can put on a little higher high heel as you lift your hips a little bit more over your shoulders, 2. And then when you're ready, release back into child's pose. Good job. So taking this to really sincerely relax down. You can relax your shoulders in any direction that feels best for you. Take a few moments and just breathe. And then when you're ready, you're going to come to hands and knees position. Downward facing dog. Take it all the way back for a couple breaths. Stretch it out. Let your neck release so you're not holding in your neck or shoulders. And with your next inhale, shift, come into plank position. And lower all the way down completely with control onto the yoga mat. Okay, and now you're gonna bend your knees, bringing your heels towards your hips. With your hands, hold the top part of your foot right underneath your toes. Spread your toes out around your pinky fingers, very good. And now see if you can press your pelvis down and start to lift your thighs up away from the ground. Once your legs are as extended as they can be, start to lift up vertebra between your ears. You're coming into Asana Bow Pose. Yeah, with each breath, the frontal bottom ribs connecting to the frontal upper hip bones. Against that, you thrust the legs up against gravity towards the ceiling. Last 2. And release. You can turn your head to one side, let your legs, arms completely relax for a few breaths. And then turn your head the other way, so we're stretching the neck. As much as we've worked on extending the neck and putting weight on the crown of the head, it's important to stretch and release the neck. And we're going to do one more, so come onto your forehead, bend your knees, bringing your heels towards your glutes, taking your hands around the tops of your feet so the toes are flexed and moving over the pinky edge side of your hand. Lift your legs as high as you can, so you're extending your thighs up away from the yoga mat. And then when you're ready, lift that vertebra between your ears and start to bring your head up. So it's not as much that you're lifting your chin towards your forehead. Draw with the strength of your upper back muscles, your ears back in line with your shoulders. Then as you get that, kick your legs a little harder against your hands. Last 2. And again, you're going to release. Turn your head over to one side, arms and shoulders completely relaxed, and breathe. So you're just stretching the side of your neck out here. And then lift your head, turn it the other direction. And you're going to come back into child's pose, bring your hands alongside your ribs, press onto your knees and sit your hips onto your heels, taking a couple breaths here. Downward facing dog. Extend your arms forward, curl your toes under, stretch your hips back. Now we're going to come into a seated position, so if you can jump through from down dog and sit, go ahead. Otherwise, lower your knees, bring your feet around to the side, make your way to a seated position for Dandasana. Flexing your feet, bringing your hands by your hips, and now you're going to bring your chin forward, so we're engaging the back of the neck. And then you're going to lower your chin so that it's parallel to your sternum bone, looking towards your navel, Nabhi chakra. And imagine that you could push the center of your foot. So when we talk about the center of the foot, it's that same pada bandha place. So right where the top of your ankle is pressing, it's going to feel like the front edge of your heel moves away from you. Push the legs as far away from you as you can, and then draw in the opposite direction, your lower abdominal wall in and up. Last 2 breaths here in this preparation. And now you're going to lift the arms, external rotation all the way up over your head. Go up, 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 and then keep the length in the spine as you come forward. Grab your feet, or maybe you're using a belt around your feet to clasp. Again, take an inhale, feel your legs pushing forward, your belly drawing back into your body. And then as you exhale, try to stretch forward. So instead of rounding your back, you're trying to move and elongate the spine, right? So the sequence is that the lower back will be rounded, but the upper part of your back is trying to maintain engagement. Now for each individual, it's a different area that's hardest to maintain the engagement. So you have to figure out in your body, where is the weakness for elongation in forward flexion. Last 3, 2, so we feel it's not the front ribs mobilizing towards the toes. It's really, truly the crown of the head being pulled away from the hips towards the toes. And now see if you can reach your arms forward, use your postural muscles, come all the way up. And now you're going to release your hands behind you for Purvottanasana. So you can turn the fingers out to the side if your wrists are bothered, or turn your hands pointing all the way back behind you. Point your toes, and this is the counter posture to Paschimottanasana. You're going to inhale, lift your hips up as high as you can. Keeping the hips going up as high as you can, engage and lengthen the spine, maybe even start to release the ears back with your shoulders. Last 3, good. 2, very nice. And release your hips all the way down. Very good. Now you're going to open your legs to face towards the right into a straddle shape. So we're going to take first Upavista Konasana. So you're going to reach out with your hands and hold your big toes. Okay, bend the knees if that's necessary. Inhale, feel the center of your foot pushing away in that V shape. And then as you exhale, instead of rounding your back, think of moving your spine forward with as much extension as you can. And then when you are starting to come towards the floor, it's not because you're rounding, it's because you're actually elongating parallel to the earth. That's it. Tops of the legs rooting down. And eventually the entire leg pressing into the mat, the hips, the weight of the sitting bones helps you to extend your spine a little bit further. Last 3. 2 more. And keeping hold of the toes, inhale, engage your spine as much as you can, lifting up. And exhale, release your toes, sit all the way up. So now you're going to bend your left knee and bring your heel in front of your pubic bone. Good. And you're going to take your hands on either side of your bent knee leg. You're going to be turning towards the front of your mat. Okay. So try to keep your right leg engaged, so the foot flexed and doing as much of that Dandasana work as you can. The hips release down so the spine can come up. And with each exhale, you're trying to turn your right side of the navel towards your left knee. Yeah, so you're creating a little bit of a twist here. Staying in the upright position helps the spine to work upwards against gravity pushing down. And you're going to be able to turn maybe just a little bit more. Last 2 breaths here. Now keep the twist as much as you can, so the right side of your navel turning towards your left knee. And now with your right hand, you're going to reach for either your big toe, or you can place your hand on the floor inside your right leg. Take a big breath in here, and now you're going into lateral or sideways flexion, bending your elbow and bringing your elbow to the inside of the leg. It may not go all the way to the ground. Now take your left arm external rotation and reach all the way overhead and stretch your body. So with each exhalation, you're focusing on taking the right side of your navel and bringing it around towards the left frontal hip bone. As much as you can do that, then stretch the crown of the head like you did in headstand away from your left sitting bone towards the right toe. Last 3, see if you can external, yeah, that's it. 2, take a big breath in. Look down towards your right leg, and now lower your right hand to the left hand to the inside of the right foot. Take the right hand to the outside of the foot. Inhale first, elongate, and now turn the left side of your navel over the right leg and fold over the right leg. We're countering the twist, coming back to neutral in the spine here. And you're breathing for 3. So what you might want to focus on is breathing into the straight leg side, so that would be the right side rib cage more than the left. Bringing that left navel around towards the top of the right thigh. 2, there you go, good. 1, now just like we did in Paschimottanasana, see if you can extend both arms, use the postural muscles and inhale using the upper back to lift, and then turn your navel towards the center and exhale, release your arms down. Okay, left leg extends out in Upavista shape, right heel comes in front of your pubic bone. You're gonna frame the right bent leg with your 2 hands. Okay, keep as much intelligence in the left leg as you can, so it's like you're pushing the leg away from you. As the 2 hips ground down, you're trying to lift the sides of your spine, hips, waist up. Now put your mind's eye in the left side of your navel, so between your navel and your left hip bone, and you're turning as you exhale the lowest part of your abdomen around towards the right knee. You're just breathing as you do this work of rotation in the spine. Last one. Try to maintain as much rotation as you can. Feel with your left hand either for your big toe or place the hand on the inside of the leg. Okay. Inhale first, and then you're going to bend the left elbow towards the inner shin, inner calf. Take the right arm out. Full external rotation from the shoulder and reach over your head. So each inhale, you will gather a little extra length. Each exhale, you're going to turn the left navel towards the right hip bone. So you're opening, so you're twisting and stretching laterally at the same time. Use as much length through the crown of the head, through the top of the spine as possible, away from the roots of the hips. Last 3. 2. Exhale, look down. Bring your right hand to the inner left foot. Bring your left hand to your outer left foot. Turn your navel now towards the left leg, so you're countering the twist. And then as you exhale, reach forward. Try to bring the crown of the head onto your left big toe. Notice here that it will be more advantageous if you breathe into the left lower rib cage. That's it. Turning the right navel around the axis towards the left. Last little bit. One more. And now you're going to reach with your arms. Try to use your upper back muscles, your postural muscles, and inhale, come all the way up. Vertical, turn your navel to the center, and release your arms down. Okay, one more time, you're going to open your legs, and you're going to go as wide as you can. So if you could go to 180 degrees with your legs and pelvis, do that. Take a big inhale. You can push the hands onto the floor behind you. Use that to lift your chest. And then either stay here or walk the hands on the floor in front of you and try to come into full forward flexion over your legs and breathe. So flex your feet, stretch out through the tops of your heels away from you. Feel the wave of inhale, lifting your lower abdomen, bringing it towards the front body, and then all the way through the crown of the head. You start to get that lengthening. Last 3 breaths. Two. And now this is going to be a little bit more challenging. You're going to try to keep your spine in the extension it is right here. Lift your arms beside your ears. And come all the way up using your upper back. Very good. Release your hands down to the back of your knees. Help your knees to bend and bring your feet around to face towards the front of the mat. So if you're at home and you don't practice shoulder stand, you could always take your legs over to a wall and do Viparita Karani. So we're going to come into Sharvangasana when you're ready. You're going to place your hands on the floor next to your pelvis, and you're going to bring your legs up vertical into shoulder stand position. Use your hands to support your lumbar. And then little by little over time, you're working your hands closer and closer down by the shoulder blades. So once your chest muscles really open, you can rest your hands on your shoulder blades. And you can use that to lift and work that upper part of your back into extension. So this is really a big chest opening. Now you're going to open your legs as wide as you can, like a side split. So this is external rotation. Okay, and then see how far apart you can get your feet. So you're pressing your legs away from your ears towards your elbows. And then see if you can bring your feet all the way down to the ground. So it's like a wide-legged halasana. And that might give you the opportunity to readjust your hands and to go a little lower onto your back. Good. Now try to keep one foot on the ground or close to the ground and try to lift just one leg up to a vertical position. So you're in half konasana, Ardha Konasana. And then the leg that's in the vertical position, roll it in so the toes are pointing into a neutral position. Very good. And now externally rotate that lifted leg, slowly lower it down, splitting that leg slowly as far towards the earth as you can. Work your hands a little lower onto your upper back, and then take the opposite leg up. So you're doing Ardha Konasana, half Konasana. If you can get that leg vertical, rotate the toes into the legs in a neutral position. And now practice externally rotating the toes away and slowly opening the leg as wide as you can. Walk your hands down a little bit lower. And now you're going to bend your knees and place your feet into Baddha Konasana, bringing your feet up above your hips. Yeah, there you go. Spread your knees as wide as you can apart to the sides. Okay, and some of you are going to stay here, and others are going to try to bring your hands onto your knees and see if you can balance here. So this is an Urdhva Padmasana variation, and you're going to use your arms, if you can reach your arms up with your elbows straight to push your legs up towards the ceiling. That's it. Try to push your elbows straight if you can. Yeah, good. That's it. Last 3 breaths here. It's like you're sitting upside down on the ceiling. 2. And now you're going to bend your knees towards your ears and let your feet come down to the ground. And you can just place your hands on your calves or on your ankles in Karna Pindasana, the ear pressure position. Do make sure that you're breathing here. And then when you're ready, you're going to place your hands on the floor with the palms facing down on your yoga mat. Really slowly, vertebra by vertebra, take your time so you're not falling and lifting your head off the ground. You're keeping your head rooted onto the mat as you descend slowly. And then you can take your legs out for Matsyasana, fish pose. Press into your elbows, arch the upper part of your back, and see if you can engage the part of your spine between the shoulder blades so that instead of rounded, it feels like it's absorbed into your body. If you have no lower back issues, you can raise the legs at a 45 degrees angle and then extend your arms also at a 45-degree angle, bringing your palms together. This is called Uttana Padasana. And last 3, 2, bring your elbows and your heels down, lift your head at least 1 centimeter up, and then release, hug your knees into your chest, and take a couple breaths there. So when you're breathing, you do want to try to make that effort to open up through the sides of your ribs, to keep the abdominals still, quiet. And now we're going to take happy baby. So reach for your outer feet or big toes. Bring the knees down towards your armpits. This is deep external rotation and hip flexion. And release your feet, hug your knees in. You're going to rock forward and back, and come all the way up and sit. Sit in a cross leg, whether it's a lotus or a half lotus or sukhasana, crossed ankles, just how we started. Okay, and we're going to do the same forward fold. So you're just going to place your hands on the ground in front of you, and you're going to fold over, taking a couple breaths. Releasing with the inside part of the legs down towards the earth. And then you're going to come up, place your hands on your knees, sit tall with your spine, and close your eyes for a couple moments. So try to relax your shoulders down, elevate through the postural muscles to the crown. Witness as you inhale, the sitting bones release straight down, deeper into the pull of gravity. And then let your eyes open, change the cross of your legs, and again, walk your hands forward. Taking a couple breaths here in this forward flexion. So these forward poses, the meditation poses, the shoulder stand, they're all dopamine. So they're all bringing you closer to that place of the relaxation response. Let go of heavy, forced breathing. Just think I'm moving sideways with the inhale, sideways through the side ribs. And then you're going to march your hands up, bring your hands onto your knees, palms up or down, close your eyes, sit nice and tall. You're going to make your way onto your back slowly, heading into Shavasana. Grab whatever you need. Maybe you need a little pillow for your neck after we did all of those neck exercises today. Maybe for your lumbar, you need to prop your legs slightly up. making your physical body as comfortable as possible for the next few moments. Open your mouth when you're ready. You can let go. Come back with your next inhale. You can just sigh through your mouth when you're ready for the exhale. Wiggle out your toes and your fingers. And then placing your feet on the yoga mat or on your props and stretching your arms, elongating through your spine. Bring your knees to your chest, give yourself a little hug and squeeze. And then when you're ready, rolling to one side, taking a few breaths in the fetal position. Using your top hand to press into the earth, come all the way up and sit when you're ready, cross-legged position of your choice. Placing your hands at the base of your sternum, Anjali Mudra, and slightly releasing the forehead down. Just gently bringing the elbows around towards the sides of your rib cage. Bringing your head up, opening your eyes. Namaste.